So today will be the day 3 of Docker. So today we will deploy an application which is a Java application. Okay, that too using a Docker container. Just a moment. Yeah, try to join in like at the correct time. That's right. How we will be having a twitter.com. Right, same like that. We will deploy on one application. How as a Docker container. Yeah, Manjuna, try to join at 9. Class will start at 9 exactly. Okay. I want to deploy an application. How it we will done? Yeah, from tomorrow try to join before 9 itself. After that I will not accept. Okay, now I will do, I will containerize a Java Spring Boot application. So what is this Spring Boot? This Spring Boot will help in building a web-based Java application, nothing but a website. In Java using Spring Boot you can able to create a website, that's it. So in order to run this Spring Boot application, the command is java-jar your application .jar file. Okay, I will explain all these terms, don't worry. Generally the extension of Java package is jar. To run the Spring Boot application the command is java-jar package.jar. So let's try to run an application which is Spring Pet Clinic. To run this application we need Java 11. Obviously without Java you cannot able to run this application, and this application runs on port 8080. Okay, what is the manual approach? First you need to install Java, right? Then after you need to have a jar file. Directly you can run this application. How to run this I will show manual steps as well as how to convert that application into a Docker file. I will show that as well. So for this activity let's stick closer to manual approach itself. Now I will come out before going to the other slide. I will compare with real life. If I go to downloads, if I go to programs, right, if you see there is a Python setup file. If I see properties, this is an application in the form of .exe. Yes, for Windows, if you want to run any software, if you want to install any software, you need a setup file. Yes, in the same way in Java technology also we need a setup file, right? But coming to setup Java, we need to create a setup file. But how it will created, it is secondary. Today's focus was a Docker. That's the reason what I have done. I already have a Java setup file. I will show you that. Okay, I have kept safely in the S3 bucket. I will open that. Okay, if you see game of life, Spring Pet Clinic, this is his jar file, right? I will take this jar file. Using this jar file I will run the application. So I will show you manually. In the same way I will show you how to convert this, like how to run this inside a Docker container. First I will show how to run in the normal VM, then after I will convert that into a Docker container. So without wasting our time I will create one EC2 instance, one normal EC2 instance. Inside that server let's try to deploy this application manually. In normally whenever developer write that code, right, how he will test manually itself. First you need to know how to run the application manually, then after you can experiment with Docker. Without knowing how to run the application manually, you should not implement this Docker. Okay, in real time so many people directly try to run the application as a Docker container. It's totally wrong. If it is working normally manually, then only you can convert it into a Docker container or Docker image. Okay, I will not take T2 macro, I will take T2 medium. Key pair, gates, security group, all traffic. So I have created one security group, all traffic. That's the reason I given that. You need to allow all ports. Launch instance. I will show that. For creating this, it will take some time, right? I will go to security groups. Okay. Instances. Security. This is the security group. So it is not showing, getting some error. So in the security group, what if you see, I have given all 0000. No, nothing but I am allowing all ports, right? Port range all, protocol all, source anyone can able to use this application, use this server, and it will allow for all the ports. That's the security I have given. But in real time, only what are ports needed, you will just give that port itself. But as we are doing practice, it's okay. My system was running, right? Treat this one laptop, okay? In real time, they will call it as server. How we have laptop, how we are using our laptop for classes. Like this is also a one laptop, but it is in online. We are taking for rent. That's it. I will log in into this server. Yes. So in Ubuntu, whatever you want to install any software, first you need to update the packages. This is the first command, and it's a permanent command. There will be no change because it will download some important libraries in the backend. Without that libraries, you cannot able to install any software. So that is the restriction kept by Ubuntu. So once you are updated, I want to run my Java application, right? For that I need a Java, right? Whenever you enter Java, command Java not found, but can be installed with. Okay, I want to install Java 17. Okay, -y sudo apt install command -y. It will install Java 17. You can install any version, okay? Right, once it is installed, what I will do? I will go to my S3 bucket. I will copy this URL. Using wget, I will download this. Right, using wget is a command to download URLs from internet. Okay, I want to download this URL, wget URL. Then automatically it will download that jar file from internet where I have stored in the S3 bucket. So I can able to download it. I will share you this URL. Okay, don't worry, I will share you this URL to you. You can practice. Okay, if you enter ls, jar file was ready, right? In order to run the Java application, what is the command? Java -jar application.jar. right? Then Spring Petrolink application will be started. And that's it, simple. Okay, if you see on 8080 port it is running. Let me check. I will go copy this public IP address, colon 8080, right? Nothing but it cat's website. So you can find the owner, right? You can add the owner, first name, address, right? City, what is the telephone number, add owner, right? Like that you can add the owner. If the owner has a pet, you can add the pet like this. This is a simple website. As a DevOps engineer, you don't need all this. We need to deploy this application as a container. Now I have deployed into a server directly, right? This is the generation 1 approach, right? Directly application will be deployed onto the server. But the drawback is, if I give this jar file, if I given to some my friend, if you want to run this application, right now I have installed Java 17, he might install Java 11. Sometimes that application might not run due to some dependencies issues. In my server it's running okay, but he has taken some other server, some other CentOS server, right? Depending upon that, there will be get an issue. Because of that, Docker came into this world. He said, okay, don't try to run directly on the server, try to run inside the magic box. That magic box is called as a container. Okay, this magic box also a Linux feature. Using a namespace called as this magic box was created. So at the end it is also a Linux server itself. Okay, now I will try to right inside this demo folder. I will create a new folder which is Docker. Okay, I will open Visual Studio Code here. So as a DevOps engineer, first job was to convert that into a Docker container. Without Docker image, Docker container will not work. I told you yesterday, right? Without like CD, how there is a no, we cannot able to watch movies in DVD player. In the same way, without image, there is no Docker container. So first we need to have a Docker image, then only you can create a Docker container. So first we need to learn how to create this Docker image. So in order to create a Docker image, our own Docker image, we need to write a Docker file. Okay. Now inside this Docker, I will create a new folder, Java. Now I will use Spring. Okay. Spring Pet Clinic. Okay. Inside the Spring Pet Clinic, I will create a new file which is Dockerfile. So you also try to install this Visual Studio Code in your system, and like that you can practice. Okay, I have created a new text file which is Docker file, capital D and remaining all small. Okay, now I will come back to our slides. Right, for this activity let's stick closer to manual approach. Pick the base image Ubuntu. Yes, obviously we have run this application in the Ubuntu, right? I will take Ubuntu image. So Spring Picnic runs on port 8080. Okay. So what are the steps to install this application? Sudo apt update, sudo apt install openjdk. You need to install wget as well. If it is wget is not there, you need to install wget. What's the steps to start the application? Java-jar, Spring Boot clean.jar. These are the steps, right? First I have updated the packages, then after I install Java 11, then after using wget I have downloaded the URL. This is the steps I have followed. To start the application, I have followed this step, right? This is using this manual approach. I want to convert that into a image. In order to convert into a Docker image, I need to write a Docker file. Okay, Dockerfile overview. So on a high level, to choose a base image, instruction is from. So in order to choose a base image, first step we say instruction is from. So what is this from? In the interview he has asked me. From is nothing but a instruction. What will be there in the from? There is a argument. That argument will call it as a base image. Okay, I will show you. I will write Dockerfile from scratch. I will show you. To execute any command to install application, the instruction is run. Okay, I am trying to explain the instructions, right? On the high level, to choose a base image, which instruction you are going to use? From. To execute any Linux command, or if you want to install any softwares, the instruction is run. Okay, to expose application, the instruction is expose. Okay, to start the application, when a container is created, I told you, right, container lifecycle depends upon the command. That command is nothing but cmd. Now you got it, right? I have explained 4 instructions. You need to remember all these 4 instructions. Tomorrow I might add some more instructions. Okay, first this 4 is important. What are instructions I am explaining? What is the use of that? Using from, you will choose base image. Using run, you can run any Linux command or install softwares. Expose, use it to expose the application. cmd, use it to run the application. Okay, so let's try to write a Docker file. Now first Docker file start with from, name of the base image, right? Because I have installed Docker plugin, that's the reason it is giving me a hint. Okay, from Ubuntu 22.04. Okay, then after I want to install, I have taken Ubuntu image, nothing but Ubuntu operating system. Inside this Ubuntu, what I want to do, I want to install software Java, right? How to do that? Using a run command, you can do that. Apt update end apt install. You can execute this command, open jdk -11 jdk-y. You can execute this command, or if you want to install 17, you can give that command. I will just give this. Okay, okay, once Java was installed, what you need to do? I will enter wget as well. Okay, I will enter wget. If it is wget is not present, wget is used to download the URLs. Okay, then after run, again run wget. I want to download this Spring Boot jar file, right? Same thing, whatever I have done manually, using that I am doing, writing a Docker file. Okay, wget. I want to expose the application. What is the command? Instruction expose. On which port it is running? 8080. I want to run the application. What is the command? Using cmd instruction, you can able to run the application, right? So Java, you need to write like this, comma, double brackets, jar, Java -jar. Spring Pet Clinic. dot jar. Okay, this is the basic Docker file. If you see from run apt update, okay, in the one line I have written, you can run three runs separately, or you can run end like this also you can write. Okay, apt update, apt install, then after using wget I have downloaded the jar file. Same thing whatever manually we have done, same thing I have using this Docker file I have doing that. Okay, there is no confusion, right? From we have choose a base image using run. If you want to install any softwares, right, execute any command on top of current image as a new layer and commit the result, right? Run, right, apt get install has given a hint, right? Apt install via curl. So you can, if you want to install any softwares, you can use a run instruction. Okay, what is this expose? If you want to expose, define network port that a container will listen at on that runtime. If you want to expose any application ports, you can use expose. What is the CMD? Executing container, right? Using CMD instruction you can able to, if there is any execute, nothing but application will be executed, right? Run, executed, nothing but running application. Using CMD you will run the application. Using expose you will expose application. Using run you will install packages. From, you will choose a base image. There is no doubt, right? You can able to write this Docker file. In the interview if they ask what is this instructions, what is the, what is this from, this is the instruction. What is this? First line is a left side, this is called as instruction. This is an arguments, instruction and argument, instruction argument, instruction argument. There will be different types of instructions. From is one type of instruction, run is one type of instruction, expose is one type of instruction, CMD is one type of instruction. Okay, I will stop this application. So whenever you create any Docker file, try to create in the empty directory. Okay, mkdir spring. Why you need to create an empty directory? I will explain that. Forget about it. Whenever you write any Docker file, don't create Docker file everywhere. Try to create in the new folder. Here I will create a new Docker file. Insert. Okay, I will come out. So once Docker file was ready, I want to create a image. What is the command? So I have given you the Docker cheat sheet, right? Try to take a printout. Local disk key, Docker cheat sheet, and I've shared you in the WhatsApp as well. Go to like Xerox shop. It will hardly take 2 rupees, I think, right? Try to take a printout and have beside your laptop, so that as a DevOps engineer you should not like by heart these commands. By by daily doing practice these commands. If you say show all running containers, docker ps, show all docker containers, docker ps -a, okay, to stop the container, docker stop, to kill the container, docker kill. All this we will learn. But before that, if you express like process management, this is the, if you want to manage these images, these are the commands. If you want to troubleshoot, these are the commands. If you want to see volumes, these are the commands. Docker compose, these are the commands. Okay, try to take a printout and practice. Now I want to create a Docker image. Command will be Docker image build -t, nothing but name of your image. My image name was spring version 1. You can give any version. Where is your Docker file present? In the current directory. Dot, enter. Docker is not present, obviously. I need to install Docker, right? Shall we install that? -y. Once Docker was installed, then after you can execute this Docker. I will come back to our slides. Okay, this is the Docker file. Next slide. Build the Docker file. Docker image build -t image name dot. If you execute docker image ls, it will show you the images, right? If you want to create a container from your image, docker container run. If you want to run your container in the background, you need to use -d. Right? What is this -d? I will explain. Don't worry, right? If you want to give name for your application, you can give -f name. Right? On which port this application is running, then you need to give -p. What is this port? What is this -d? This, for this there is a separate class. In that class I will explain. Today's focus was to run the application inside a docker container. That's it. Okay, I will go back. Right, okay, to build an image, what is the command? You can use docker image build or docker build directly. So that's the reason I'm telling you need to have this cheat sheet with you. So once docker was installed, you need to do one more extra command. Sudo usermod -ag -a capital G docker ubuntu, because ubuntu will not have any permissions to execute these commands. I will exit and relogin. Okay, ls, I will go inside the spring folder. Okay, there is a docker file. I will execute docker build. You can use docker image build or docker build. Docker build -t spring 1 dot. Okay, step 1, it will take the base image from, right? So step 2, running in, right? Running in, what is this? 1e. Observe that running in 1e I got. So it is updating the packages. So Dockerfile is one type of shell script. Okay, rather than doing, Docker will do for you. So if I give this Dockerfile to my friend, he can able to create a Docker image, right? You no need to write this Docker file again. Right, it is installing Java. Okay, once Java was installed, it will download the jar file. So if you see 20 years back, if you want to watch a movie, what you will do? You will go and purchase a CD and you will insert into a DVD player, right? How movie will get inserted CD? What they will do? They will burn that CD, right? They will burn that CD and they will add movies into that. Here Docker image is nothing but a CD itself. In that image, before I am adding my application. In order to add that application, I need to not burn, I need to build that. Okay. It is taking too much of time. Now I will go to Docker Playground, not Docker Hub, Docker Playground. So what is this Docker Playground? In this Docker Playground, already a VM will be created with the predefined Docker installed in it. So here it is getting stuck, right? I don't want to waste my time. Here also you will get one server, one instance with Docker installed in it. Okay, I will create new here. Same thing, whatever I am doing VM, I will try to create in this VM. If you see, here we got 4 GB of RAM. Sometimes this website will stuck. We cannot do anything. So I will delete it. I will recreate. Add new instance. Okay, it's not creating. I will try one more time. Add new instance. Every day you will get 4 hours. You can practice for 4 hours. But this website will be very slow. Depending upon your luck, it will work. Okay, let me stop this. It's got stuck. Okay, here it has created. We are lucky. Alt enter. Okay, here I will create one folder mkdir spring. My Ubuntu instance got stuck. Ignore it. Okay, you can do the same step again whenever you create. Okay, vi Dockerfile insert. Okay, here I need to use slash. So by default container will run on the root directory. Slash nothing but inside the root directory there is a file called as jar file. Try to run this. Okay, then after I will create a image docker build -t spc 1 dot, right, it is building, right. First step it is building, second step it is updating the packages, right. Third step it will download the jar file. Fourth step it will run the application. So whenever you create a docker image build, command will not be executed. Important. Okay, while building the image cmd will not be executed. Okay, this is inside this only until here it will be take docker image. Cmd will be executed when you run the container. That's the reason there will be only 3 instructions. Okay, from you will take the base image. This is the first step. Second, 1 2 3. First it will take a base image. Second, run. Third, run. Expose application cmd will be secondary part. While running the container it will do that. Okay, steps 3 running. Just observe this exporting writing image, exporting layers, exporting to image, right? It has created an image with a name called as spc1. Okay, I will explain all this. Okay, don't worry, I will explain all these things. Today's focus, I just want to run as a container, docker image ls, right? My spc image with tag version 1 was created. Using this my own image, I want to create a container. What is the command? Docker container run. I want to run this container in the background, -d. Which port is this application is running? You need to give host port, nothing but your, what is this p, ignore, I will explain. 8080 application unknown 8080 port, spc1. Okay, docker container ls, sorry, typo, container ls hyphen a. What has happened? Did I given wrong? Okay, I given wrong, right? Spring dash pit clinic, right? My file name, I given spring pit clinic, wrong name. Obviously it has failed. I given wrong name. There is no file called spring pit clinic. It is exited. So if I'm doing wrong, just let me know. Okay, I need to again create a docker file, docker image, sorry. Right here I've written wrong, so you need to carefully spring pet clinic not. If you see spring dash pet clinic dot jar dash come out. Okay, I will create one more image, docker image build spc2. I will give version as 2, right? Created. First time it will take time, second time it will create fast. What is that? Why it is creating? I will explain. Docker container run. I will run on the port 8082. So, okay, sorry, spc2, right? You need to give spc2. Image name wrong I have given. Okay, I will execute docker container ls. Yes, on 8083 port it is running. I will execute alt enter. Right, if you see 8083 port was opened, I will click here. Yes, my application is running inside the container, right? Successfully. But whatever the docker file you have written, this is wrong. This is totally wrong. Why totally wrong? Okay, docker image ls. If you see spc1, this is size was 750 MB. As a DevOps engineer, what you need to do, you need to create an image and the size will be small and your docker file should be in very less steps. It should not very long. Your docker file will be with less steps and size will be very less. But as first time we are learning, I have directly written this docker file, but this is not a correct approach. I will show this. So on a high level, so these are the we have done right now to build the image to access the application. So the best approach to run Spring Pet Clinic, I need Java 11, but in previous image have started from Ubuntu, which is not necessary, right? I've taken base image as Ubuntu. Why I need to take that? I can take base image directly Java, right? I might find a image which is already Java installed. Rather than taking Ubuntu image, I can take Java installed image. So let's use Amazon Corotto. What is this Amazon Corretto? I will show you in Docker Hub. So now I am explaining one more command, one more instruction. Add instruction used to copy files into images. Right? Using add instruction, you can download any URLs. Using wget in Linux, how you can able to download? Using add in Docker, you can download URL from internets as well as from local. So I am taking Amazon Corretto. What is this Amazon Corretto? Let me show you that. I will go to Docker Hub. Okay, Amazon Corretto. Okay, so if you see the AWS JDK team maintained by the AWS JDK team, nothing but official AWS. This is the Docker official image. So distributed of Open Java Development Kit, OpenJDK. Nothing but in this image already Java will be installed and it is official image from AWS. So I can blindly trust. If you see 50 million downloads are there. So this is the official image and there is no harm in this image for choosing this image. So rather than taking Ubuntu image, it will be better. I can take what is the image name? Right? Why I need to take? I will take Amazon Corretto. I will not install OpenJDK. I no need because I can skip this step. My Docker file will be reduced. Right? Amazon Corretto. Which version? I will take whatever version you want. You can take. Then after, I will not use run. Right? I will use add. What is this add? Add source and destination. Okay. If you want to download anything, you can use add. Okay. Add from where you want to download URL source. Where you need to copy inside the container. There is a slash spring pet clinic. Okay, I will give dash slash spring pet clinic dot jar. So what is the meaning right here? Okay, copy a jar file from internet to where? To the inside the root directory, and the name of the application will be spring pet clinic dot jar. Once it is downloaded, I will directly start the application using a container. Right, this is easy, right? Compared to that Docker file, this Docker file is best. Steps was reduced. Now let me try to create a. I will go here. VI CD backup. Let me create a new folder. mkdir Java SPC. I will go inside this Java SPC VI Dockerfile insert. Okay, Docker image build -t Java SPC 1 dot. Once the image was built, I will create a container. Okay, Docker image ls. Size reduced or not? 750 is best one, 501 is best one, right? 750 is best, so 500 is best. Company's storage was saved by us, right? If the storage was less, for copying this file from one server to another server, time will be reduced. Yes, if it is time is reduced, you are saving the companies. If you save the time, automatically time is money, right? So this is what you need to do. You need to write a perfect Docker file, but you will learn this slowly. Docker container run -d -p 8084 or
Spelling.
8080. Okay, okay, thank you. Docker container run -d -p 80. Host port you can give anything, okay? Container port will you need to give correct one, 8080. What is this ports? I will explain. Java SPC. What is the tag? 1. Okay. Docker PS or Docker container ls. It will show you the running containers. Right? Alt enter 8084. There will be a no downtime in running application, okay? Right? If the size is less, my application will run slow, right? No, not like that. Even if the size is less, your application will run as it is. There is no issue in your running application. Okay. Now I want to give you a task. I have created this Java application, right? I will give one more Docker file, which is also a Java application. You need to do that task. I don't want to do that. Same Java application, another application. Without wasting your time, this is the commands to run the application. So generally all the images published have slim options, which is okay. You can use -alpine -jdk. If you use -alpine -jdk, the image size will automatically reduce. Here I have taken 11, right? If you give an alpine, right, -alpine, okay, -jdk, okay, if you use this, then automatically if you build this image, we got 500 MB, right? Here the image size 500 MB. If you use alpine image, if you just add new tag of alpine, image size will be reduced less than 500. So have taken 11, right? You take first take alpine and practice, then after take alpine and jdk as well, and try to create one more docker file, a docker image, and check docker image ls size reduced or not. This is a task for you. Try to do it. Apart from that, you need to do another one as well. So you need to deploy the game of life application as well. So this is the manual steps, you ignore. So to remove a container, what is the command? I forget to explain. Docker container rm container id or container name. To remove all running container, docker container rm -f forcefully. This is the command. If you want to remove the image, docker rmi. If you want to remove all images, docker image rm. So I will let me show you that how to delete a container. It will be better. Okay. I will execute alt enter. Docker container ls. Okay. If I want to delete a container, what is the command? Docker container rm. You can use the container id. Sorry. container ID or container name. If you don't give a name, it will automatically give some dummy name. Okay, 79E1. Like that, if you give, it will delete the container automatically. But if there are 10 containers, here there are 2 containers. Like for suppose if the 10 containers, multiple containers are there, if you want to delete all containers at a time, then you need to do this dollar inside the bracket. You need to give docker container ls -q. What is this? I will explain. So you need to use -f force. I will explain this command. Okay, I don't want to explain this. Next class I will explain. Docker container ls. Yes, container was deleted. Docker image ls. Right, I want to delete all images at a time. Docker image. If you want to delete single image, docker image rmi spc1. Okay, you need to use force. Okay, -f spc1. I will execute docker image ls. spc1 was deleted, right? I want to delete all images at a time. Docker image rm-f under bracket dollar bracket docker image ls-q. Okay, docker image ls. Okay, so game of life application deployment. So if you want to run this game of life application, what you need to do, you need to download the war file into the web apps folder of the Tomcat. Then you can, like if you see, I've taken Tomcat image from Tomcat application runs on 8080 port. Using add, I've taken the URL of game of life. I've already there in the S3 bucket. I will show you, right? If you go to S3 bucket, I will go back to buckets. There is a game of life. Okay, you need to copy S3 URL in the here from, you need to take a Tomcat. Okay, Tomcat, for this demo I will take Tomcat, add that URL where you want to copy slash game of life dot var, in on which port this application is running, expose 8080. And what is the command to run this application? cmd. You can give whatever it is there, right? catalina.sh run. So what is this? I will explain. Okay, try to build the image, try to run the container. Okay, this is also a task for you today. Okay, so docker image layers. What is this docker image layers? I will explain tomorrow. Okay, about this docker image layers. There is no time, right? So label, if you want to add any metadata, you can use label. If you want to give default working directory, you can use workdir instruction. Okay, if you want to copy from internet using URLs, you can use add. If you want to copy only local files, you can use copy. Right, add instruction you can download from URL as well as local. Copy, you can only copy the files from locally. This is the difference between add and copy instruction. Using copy instruction, you can only copy files from your local system. You cannot download from URLs. But add is supports both local as well as URL. This is the main difference. In the interview they will ask, what is the difference between add and copy? So add, you can able to download from the URLs, nothing but web URLs. I have taken S3 bucket URL, right? But copy will not support that URLs. Okay, copy only supports local. Local nothing but like for suppose, let me go here. If I give ls, if there is any file locally present in this in the beside Docker file, I can copy that locally from in your local server. But from internet, if you want to do it, add will support, copy will not support. That's the beauty of this add. Add supports both. Okay, this is the workflow, right? Using Dockerfile, we will create a image, right? Using this image, we will create a container. So to create a image, what is the command? Docker build. To run the container, what is the command? Docker run. From container, if you want to create a image, yesterday we have done, right? Docker commit image. Docker commit, you will give container ID, it will create a image. Yes. What is the use of this image? You can push this image to your registry. Okay, this is the workflow. If you want to delete the image, Docker RMI. If you want to remove the container, Docker RM. So this single image, if you want to stop the container, start the container, Docker start, Docker stop. If you want to export it into a tarball, Docker export, Docker export. Right, this is the Docker workflow. Try to see this image. Very important. These are the commands we are going to do multiple times in the next upcoming days. Right, that's it for today. I will explain Docker image layers in tomorrow's class. Actually, I need to explain today itself, but there is no time. What we can do?
Um, I want to
I'll stop the
practice
recording.